So The Mule is a movie directed by Clint Eastwood, starring himself in it as 90-year-old Earl Stone. His business is going down, he's being resented by his family after neglecting them for so long, and now he works as a mule for a cartel. What a mule is basically a courier for them to carry their cargo, and as he becomes the top mule, he attracts the attention of DEA officer Shaunlepaks and is in high pursuit of Earl Stone. And at the same time, his wrongdoings are beginning to weigh in his conscience, and he has to right his wrong before either the authorities or the cartel thugs catch up to it. Yeah, so that's what The Mule is about. Now, I actually thought that this movie would be like those action-packed, dark, badass, mysterious type movies, or maybe something like a Sicario del the Soldado, something that dark and vulgar, I think. But well, it's something like that, I think. But this movie focuses more on how did Earl Stone became the top mule, showing how Earl is as a character, and also showing what other stages he goes through before coming to the realization, before waking up, that he should have put his family first before his work. And at the end of the movie, it shows how much he really regrets his past mistakes, which is really interesting. And I would think that them going in that direction, they did a good job doing so. Most of the directing, I think, was good, except for some scenes, which I will get into later on. And I also like the exchange of dialogue between Earl Stone and Shaunlepaks, Bradley Cooper and Clint Eastwood's character. One is seemingly like a wise old man, teaching this other guy, not to be like him, not to repeat the mistakes that Earl Stone did, with his family, things like that. Also, it shows how Earl is, how interesting Earl's character is. He's not just a ordinary old man, he's pretty resourceful. He knows how to get things done, his own way. I would say that he's something like Denzel Washington's character in The Equalizer and Equalizer 2. I don't know what was the name of Denzel Washington's character in those movies, but I'll still recommend you guys to also watch Equalizer and Equalizer 2. They're good movies, I think. So most of the scenes were really interesting, and I wasn't really bored by them, so that's good. Now, going over to the problems of this movie is that, well, first of all, I want to talk about the scenes that I mentioned earlier that I had a problem with. Okay, and those scenes were the part where the authority figures were supposed to do their job in the movie. Well, I would think that the authorities, they didn't seem to even try to catch Earl Stone. They seemingly, it seems that they wanted him to get away and only bothered to catch him in the last part just because the director said so, and that the ending, will be more conclusive, more epic, that kind of stuff. It's a bit disappointing. There's like one scene that I felt that, well, if it went realistically, and that if Shaunlepaks was a little more careful, a little more thorough, the movie could have ended there, and the movie could have been like, what, 30, 40 minutes shorter, I think. But, well, I guess the ending sort of made it up for that mistake. Okay, now going to mistake number 2 would be like some of the characters in the movies. Some of the characters in the movie. I would think that some of the characters, they seem to have potential to make the ending more conclusive, but when the movie got to the third and final act, you don't see them anymore. It kind of feels like, well, they weren't even there. They weren't even they weren't even part of the movie, which is questionable. I was like thinking, where the hell were the characters, and why couldn't the writers and the director Clint Eastwood, have been more creative with them and also added them into the final act to make the movie more interesting. Yeah, so I think those are the 2 big problems I have with this movie. But overall, I can still say that this movie is good. Not the perfect movie, but well, at least most of the scenes were good and emotional and interesting, relatable, things like that. Yeah, so I'll give The Mule an overall score of 76% out of 100. Yeah, and I think that's all I have to talk about The Mule. Now, if you guys aren't sure if you want to catch this movie in the big screen, well, I think that you still can, but don't expect too much from this movie. You know, don't expect like those much fighting, things like that, because there wasn't really much. You know, but I still think that this movie, the acting is also good. Yeah, and that what else can I add? What else can I add?
2,000 years later.
Okay, I think that's it for what I have to talk about the Mule. And thanks you guys for watching this review, especially to those who have watched my other reviews as well. I will put, and for those who are watching this video as my very first movie review, I have a few others. I'll put my other movie reviews at the end of this video so you can check them out as well. Damn it, yeah. Check them out as well. Okay, once again, thank you guys, and hope to see you guys again. See ya.